I sensed the silence before I heard it. A heavy, suffocating pause that pulled the oxygen straight out of the room and froze my fork halfway to my mouth. Every face at the Thanksgiving table slowly turned toward me like I'd just stepped onto a trap they had carefully hidden. Grandpa's voice cut through the stillness, slow and uncertain, as if he was giving them one last chance to tell the truth. A little under $500,000. You received it, didn't you? The words hit me like a bullet. I wanted to answer, to pretend it was a misunderstanding, but the truth had already settled in my bones. My parents' faces drained instantly, their expressions turning pale and stiff. My sister's lips parted slightly, the exact way she does before a lie leaves her mouth. And in that frozen moment, I understood everything. They never thought Grandpa would ask directly. They assumed he'd forget. They assumed I'd stay clueless. They assumed they'd gotten away with it. I set my fork down quietly, not out of anger, but out of clarity. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't a small mistake. This was a planned theft, slow, calculated, deliberate, and I had been the mark. My mother's voice trembled first. Dad, maybe you're remembering wrong, but Grandpa cut her off with a look sharper than any knife on that table. I transferred the money, he said, turning to me. To the account your mother said was yours. She told me you needed it for your business. She told me you were desperate. My chest tightened. I had never asked for anything. The closest I came was telling her I might quit my job. She had smiled at me that date too kindly, too gently, like she already knew where my life was heading because she had already spent the path for me. Suddenly, every warning sign lit up in my memory. She had been intercepting Grandpa's calls. My sister had been flashing new jewelry she claimed was cheap. My father had insisted I stop stressing Grandpa. And weeks earlier, when I confessed, I barely had a few $100s left. My mother hugged me with a pity that made no sense. Till now, they weren't worried about me. They had already taken everything. Grandpa's voice softened as he asked, "You didn't get anything, did you?" I shook my head. Something inside him cracked quiet, heartbreaking, furious. His hands shook as he pulled out his phone. "Show them." I didn't need to. He turned the screen toward them. Screenshot. Transfer complete. The full amount. Sent weeks ago. My sister swallowed hard. My father's jaw ticked like he was fighting back panic. My mother's face twisted, guilt and fear and calculation all fighting for dominance. They had counted on Grandpa forgetting. They had counted on me staying silent. They had counted on time protecting their lie, but they forgot something important. I don't yell. I don't explode. I don't warn. I observe, and when I act, it's deliberate. I stood slowly, walked into the hallway where their panic-filled whispers couldn't touch me. Excuses started leaking out of them, messy, desperate, tangled. I pulled out my phone. Not to call the police yet, but to document everything. Screenshots, timestamps, Grandpa's statements, their reactions, their guilt. Revenge isn't anger. Revenge is order, timing, precision. When I returned, I didn't sit. "We're going to clear this up." My mother tried to speak, but her voice cracked. Grandpa delivered the truth with devastating finality. "You stole from your own child." My father jumped up. "Now wait just a minute." "No," I cut him off. "You wait." 3 soft, deadly words. The room went silent again. The kind of silence that means there's no way back. I turned to Grandpa. "Do you want your money back?" He nodded, heartbroken. "Then this doesn't stay in the family." My sister gasped. My mother reached out like I was the danger too late. I walked to the kitchen, dialed the number. "Yes," I said, steady as ice. "I'd like to report financial fraud." My mother collapsed into her chair. My father's face crumpled. My sister whispered my name like she could undo everything. I didn't look at them. Some betrayals deserve eye contact. Others deserve silence. The officers arrived in about half an hour, but the truth arrived even faster. Bank logs, IP addresses, transaction trails. Every digital fingerprint pointed straight to them. They never saw this coming, not because they were innocent, but because they believed my quiet meant helplessness. They didn't understand. Quiet. Quiet is strategy. Quiet is awareness. Quiet is the moment before the weapon fires. As they were questioned inside, I stepped out onto the porch and breathed in the cold air, clean, sharp, honest. Grandpa joined me, placing a trembling hand on my shoulder. "You're stronger than they ever believed," he said. And he was right. People underestimate the quiet ones until the quiet becomes the loudest thing in the room. That night, my family shattered. I didn't, I rose above it. And as the police car doors shut behind them, I felt it settle inside me, a truth, a vow, a final understanding. Silence isn't surrender. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is the moment you load the weapon. And finally, I pulled the trigger.